Clickers. The Last of Us. Clickers are what happens when the cordyceps fungus gets way too comfortable. After a year or more of infection, the fungus bursts through the skull and completely takes over, turning the host into a walking sonar system with a face that looks like a cracked mushroom. These things can't see, but they use echolocation, like bats, to hunt. One sound is all it takes to end up as lunch. Cordyceps is a parasitic fungus that hijacks the brain, spreading spores through the host's body until it's no longer human. The infection starts subtly: coughs, confusion, aggression. But over time, the fungus takes root, feeding off the brain and transforming the host into something terrifying. Clickers are the result of long-term infection, a late-stage monstrosity that has lost all semblance of humanity. They tend to lurk in dark, damp places like tunnels, sewers, and abandoned buildings, where the fungus thrives. These places offer the perfect environment for the spores to flourish, making them ideal for clickers to nest. What makes them terrifying isn't just the looks, it's the one-hit kills. If they grab you, it's over. Their strength is brutal, their speed is unpredictable, and the noises they make? Straight nightmare fuel. To deal with them, you either sneak like a ninja or bring enough firepower to level a small house. Their jaws alone can crack a skull, and their relentless pursuit makes them one of the most feared zombies in any game. They're not just monsters, they are walking testaments to nature's ability to twist life into horror. Evolution didn't just fail here, it actively tried to scare us. And did we mention they sometimes appear in groups? Imagine a chorus of clicking and screeching echoing down a dark corridor. You don't stand a chance. They respond to the slightest sound, a broken twig, a muffled step, and immediately hone in on the source like bloodhounds with sonar. The fear is real, and it never lets up. Bloaters. The Last of Us. Bloaters are like clickers that spent years hitting the gym, if the gym was filled with fungus and rage. After several years of infection, they bulk up with thick fungal armor that makes them nearly indestructible. These tank-like monstrosities move slowly but hit like trucks. And their favorite trick, lobbing exploding spore bombs that poison everything nearby. The infection in bloaters is so advanced that their skin has completely fused with hardened fungus, making them resistant to bullets and fire. Their internal organs are often fully consumed by the fungus, and the pressure builds up inside them, giving them the ability to throw infectious projectiles. These bombs explode on impact, releasing a cloud of spores that can infect or incapacitate survivors in seconds. They usually hang out in moist, confined spaces like basements or old medical labs, perfect breeding grounds for fungus. Their armor shrugs off bullets, and they can tear a person in half without breaking a sweat. If you see one, don't even think about hand-to-hand combat. Fire and explosives are your only hope, and even then, you'll probably need a nap afterward. Their presence means the area is heavily contaminated, and the environment alone becomes part of the threat. When you hear their gurgling growl echoing through a hallway, it's already too late to run. They aren't just threats, they're environmental disasters wrapped in muscle. And worse yet, they can sometimes trigger nearby infected into a frenzy, creating chaos you won't easily escape from. They're slow-moving nightmares that turn any combat encounter into a desperate, sweaty ordeal. The tank. Left 4 Dead. The tank is what happens when steroids go wrong. Standing over 10 feet tall and built like a dump truck, this guy doesn't just walk, he charges. He'll toss cars, rip up pavement, and punch survivors clear across the map. When he shows up, the music changes, your team panics, and everything goes downhill. The tank is a mutation of the standard infected. His muscles are so massive they tear through clothing and skin. He can hurl massive objects, including slabs of concrete, and is immune to knockback. Despite his size, he moves with terrifying speed when provoked. His body is fueled by pure rage, and he doesn't stop until the target is neutralized. He's the definition of brute force, with enough health to tank an entire squad's ammo and still keep going. He thrives in open areas where he can throw debris and charge it unhindered. The moment you hear that telltale music cue, you know what's coming. Your only chance. Coordination, lots of bullets, and maybe a few prayers. If you're caught alone, it's game over. His endurance and raw power make him one of the most feared enemies in any zombie game. There's no reasoning, no strategy, just survival. Think of him as a wrecking ball with anger issues. And just when you think you're safe, he's smashing through the wall like an undead Kool-Aid man. He has an uncanny sense for finding you at your most vulnerable, appearing in doorways, stepping through fire, crashing in just when you thought it was over. Regenerators, Resident Evil 4. You ever shoot something and watch it grow its limbs back? That's a regenerator. These tall, pale nightmares wheeze like broken air conditioners and regenerate body parts faster than you can reload. Bullets are pointless unless you've got a thermal scope to target the parasites inside them. They were created in secret bioweapons labs, modified with plaga parasites that give them their grotesque healing abilities. You can blow off a limb and it'll grow right back, sometimes in even more dangerous forms. Some versions, like the Iron Maiden variant, develop spikes that can impale victims on contact. They're slow, but persistent, and the creepy breathing alone is enough to make you switch off the console. Lab experiments gone wrong. They thrive in cold, sterile environments. Think underground labs and forgotten bioresearch centers. Their rubbery skin absorbs damage, and they don't stop until the parasites are destroyed. If you're not packing a thermal scope, good luck. You'll need it. These creatures were engineered to withstand standard combat, and that makes them all the more terrifying. It's like fighting something that's laughing at your bullets. Every encounter becomes a desperate hunt for weak spots hidden beneath rubbery flesh. And if you miss a parasite, congratulations. You just made them angrier. Their twisted biology turns each battle into a tactical nightmare. Volatiles, dying light. If you thought zombies were slow, volatiles are here to ruin your assumptions. These muscular, parkour-loving freaks only come out at night, and when they do, you'd better find UV light or a safe zone. Fast, aggressive, and with claws sharp enough to shred steel, they're the apex predators of the infected world. Volatiles are ultra-mutated infected that evolve beyond basic rage zombies. They move on all fours with spider-like agility, have enhanced senses, and possess enough strength to tear through reinforced doors. Sunlight weakens them, making night their preferred hunting time. They were once regular infected, exposed to advanced mutation. Now, they're nightmare material. They'll chase you across rooftops, through alleys, and won't stop until you're a smear on the pavement. Their claws can tear through armor, and their speed rivals any parkour expert. If you hear their screech in the distance, find a safe zone immediately. They don't just hunt, they stalk. And once they've locked onto you, there's almost no escape. They're fast, brutal, and among the deadliest things you'll face in a zombie-infested world. You never outrun a volatile, you just die tired. And their ability to sense fear, yeah, they got that too. In tight corners and wide open fields alike, they make you feel like prey. Mr. X. Resident Evil 2 Remake. Imagine a giant in a trench coat who walks through walls and doesn't blink. That's Mr. X. Created by the Umbrella Corporation, this bioweapon is programmed to hunt you down with terrifying calmness. No screaming, no sprinting, just the steady stomp of the doom. Mr. X is one of the T-00 Tyrants, engineered to blend into human environments while maintaining deadly efficiency. He's nearly invulnerable to small arms fire and uses brute strength to incapacitate his targets. He stalks with inhuman patience, moving silently through the shadows until it's too late to run. He's nearly indestructible, shrugs off shotgun blasts, and can punch a hole through your spine. He shows up at the worst times, like during a puzzle or just after you found a healing spray. The worst part? His footsteps echo through the halls, giving you just enough time to panic. Hiding helps for a few seconds, but he'll tear the door off its hinges. Your only hope? Stay one step ahead and maybe, just maybe, you'll survive long enough to find an exit. Mr. X represents the cold, calculated terror that defines Resident Evil. It's not about if he'll catch you, it's when. And spoiler alert, he usually does. He's the dread you can't shake, the shadow in every hallway. Even his passive presence creates panic that lingers long after he's gone. The Witch, left for dead. Sitting alone in the dark, sobbing quietly, the witch doesn't seem like much until someone turns on a flashlight or makes a noise. Then she snaps, screams, and tears through everything in her path with razor-sharp claws. One hit, and you're done. The witch is a unique infected driven by a blend of rage and despair. She prefers darkness and solitude, reacting violently when disturbed. Her scream not only signals attack, but also disorients players, making escape difficult. Her long claws can dismember with a single swipe. She's fragile if caught off guard, but wake her up and she becomes a tornado of death. The key? Silence and avoidance. Think of her as the world's deadliest motion detector. If you hear crying, don't be a hero. Turn around. She's one of the most nerve-wracking enemies ever created, and her unpredictability makes every encounter feel personal. Her sudden aggression and the eerie calm before the storm make her a truly memorable foe. And every time you see a flickering hallway light, you'll think of her. That's fear done right. She teaches players that sometimes the scariest enemies aren't the loudest ones, but the quiet threats you didn't see coming. Her animations and audio cues are fine-tuned to exploit tension, keeping you on edge from start to finish. The Mannequins, condemned criminal origins. They don't breathe, don't move when watched, and somehow always get closer. These mannequins thrive on your fear. You look away for a second, and boom, right behind you. Their whole gimmick is psychological terror, and it works. Set in decrepit buildings and flickering lights, they play on the primal fear of being watched. Each encounter feels like a hallucination, challenging your sanity more than your reflexes. They rarely attack directly, but their presence messes with your perception. It's less about physical danger and more about losing your grip on reality. And honestly, that might be worse. The silence, the sudden shifts, and their inhuman stillness create an atmosphere thick with dread. Just because they aren't moving doesn't mean they aren't coming. Look away, and you'll wish you hadn't. Their psychological warfare is unmatched, and their ability to mess with your mind is why they're on this list. No zombie snarls, no chase, just a slow, creeping dread that follows you long after the console is turned off. They're fear in mannequin form, the kind that doesn't need to move to haunt you. Even blinking feels like a mistake when they're around. The uncanny valley effect does the rest, ensuring they stick in your memory. If this creeped you out, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop your favorite zombie in the comments. Just make sure it's not standing behind you.